Take a poll in the comments how many times you think Logan and Dan and all of them have gotten triggered. Oh my god, it's so funny.
You can't forget that butter power, baby. Little Crush, there's bacon in there. You don't need butter. That bacon's actually really lean.
Alright bros, this is as good an example as you'll ever get of a natural instinctive cooking process that I have, to where I plan on cooking one thing, but one thing leads to another and it becomes something completely different. It was not planned, but this is just how I cook, and I don't know how many times this has happened throughout my life, and it's amazing. So I hope you enjoy it. Y'all wanted some cooking shit, so here you go.
Alright bros, we just got back from our pre-fast workout, but this video is about the pre-fast meal. So, yeah. So we got a bunch of hamburger buns and some cheese, some burgers, some frozen fries, because you know no, I'm kidding. But we are gonna have not necessarily a cheat meal. Nothing's cheat. It's ketovore. But I'm gonna have one of my favorite things I used to eat all the time on ketovore, which was this super low carb tortilla burritos, but with the good ones. So like the Michigan Carb Balance has a bunch of bullshit. These just have olive oil and allulose and like good ingredients. So these ones are a lot better. So this is basically the same thing I was gonna have. I just at the last moment was like, you know what, fuck that. Let's see how my body reacts to having some onion, jalapeno, garlic, some cheese, sour cream, salsa, you know, so however many of that. And then the one treat, some whole fat Greek yogurt, nothing in it, just plain, with some blueberries. So all in all, this whole thing is gonna be like 70, 80 at the very most grams of carbs. And there's a reason for it. So I know y'all are already chirping, boy, Dan, Logan, all of y'all are already going crazy in the comments, but that's fine, I get it. You'll understand at one point. Oh, I'm doing a dry fast. I've never done a dry fast before. I might push this dry fast 3 days. It just depends how I feel. But I'm gonna do it at least 36 hours, and if I'm feeling it, I'll push it. So what this is gonna do, this is a little bit of carbs. I haven't had any carbs except the last time I had the lettuce burgers. And then you saw the weigh-in after that, right? So this is cranking that a little bit. So that was tomato. I had regular ketchup, you know, so I had probably like 30 grams of carbs worth of ketchup. The lettuce, tomatoes, I had like 2 big ass tomatoes, you know, so in all, that was like 50 so grams of carbs. Because this is how I plan to eat for the rest of my life. Carnivore is going to be my base for the rest of my life. And then I will slowly add in some things like some fruit, you know, vegetables, even like homemade tortillas and keto bread and all that. And then every once in a while I'll have like, you know, big, you know, like I don't know exactly, we'll see. But one thing I do know is I'm 100% confident. I know that once I can keep this fat off. And that's been one of the most important things for me throughout this whole journey for the last 2 years, is I was super insecure about that. If I would have lost a bunch of weight, I would have been freaking out. If I would have lost like 200 pounds within the first year, I would have been freaking out when I got to 300 pounds, because I would have been like, oh my God, I'm just gonna gain it all back. Now, after everything I've learned, I'm 1000% confident. I know for a fact that I can keep it off for the rest of my life. In fact, it will be easy to keep it off. It's just getting there. And so, obviously, I'm doing it my own way, and focusing on body recomposition instead of losing weight. I'm gonna lose fat, maintain muscle. So, yeah, so nothing crazy. I'm gonna cook it for you and show it. The first things first, I'm gonna take these blueberries, show you a trick. You can do this with sugar. I'm gonna use allulose just to give it a little extra sweetness. But if you have yogurt, this is something you can do to make your blueberries and stuff taste a little better. And again, there's 2 servings in the bag. There's 2 servings in the bag. 19 grams of carbs a serving, so it's gonna be like 40 grams for the whole bag. And this is, I just wanted some fruit in this, and I wanted some yogurt, but I didn't want to buy apples or all that, because I could have easily eaten like 200 grams of carbs worth of apples in like that. So this is a governor. So just getting that little bag of blueberries, this is a nice governor. It'll satisfy that crazy. One thing I forgot was limes. I was gonna get a couple limes for the tacos and this, but that's okay. I gotta be careful because I don't want too much of this. Because I've had no sugar, so like, this is gonna be so sweet. Alright, that's good. I can add more later, but that. So all you're doing, and this is gonna, as it defrosts, it's gonna create like a juice, almost like a like a syrup. And allulose acts a lot like sugar in baking and all that. So if you eat sugar, you're a regular bro, you can do this with sugar and just a tiny bit of salt. And then within a few hours, it defrosts and melts and it creates like a syrup, and it's delicious on pancakes. Any kind of cake, you can make like a lemon pound cake, and then you can pour this on top of it. But y'all were asking for some cook. So part of this is y'all's fault because y'all been asking me in the comments for cooking shit. So here's some cooking shit. So look at that tricep, baby. Look at that. That is boom. Look at that jumping out, baby. Ooh, look at that. Bam. Look at that shoulder. Ooh, look at that arm, baby. Bro, that's actually looking pretty defined. Bam. You see my full shoulder? That shadow is just a little deeper. Every time it's just a little deeper. And now you can even see my shoulder flexing. And with his shoulder. So I forgot to like check the pump, but that's looking good, dude. That arm's looking sick. Yeah, y'all asked for cooking stuff, so here's some cooking stuff. No, I'm joking. It's not y'all's fault. But don't worry, because I'm telling y'all, the magic will happen. Now, at least I'm expecting. I don't know. Maybe my body freaks out because but it didn't the last time. I know from the lettuce burgers, I didn't even feel it. And I had a bunch of regular ketchup with corn syrup. Or actually, it was like, I think it was I don't remember, it's natural or whatever, so I think it was just sugar, but I think I have more sugar then than I have now because I love ketchup on my burgers, and so I was, packing the sugar on. But so yeah, you just coat it like that, and then you just let it sit, and it'll defrost. So there's that. But first, a word from our sponsor. No, I'm kidding, but the LaCroix, bro, I love these. These are, bro, I'm telling you, these are just, especially like the key lime and the lemon cello, they got like almost like a vanilla flavor. So good. But I love the shit out of these. And they actually almost taste sweet. I think it's because the brain does that, because no sugar for so long. I think it's so good. This is my favorite flavor, the key lime by far. The sparkling water, natural essence, whatever that means. But and it's non-GMO, so I trust natural essence over natural flavors. What's going in these breakfast burritos? We got 3 natural sausage patties we've had in the freezer for a long time. We have a package of bacon. Two and a half pounds of steak, and then obviously eggs. And we fasted. We haven't eaten nothing today. We worked out, fasted, and everything. Boy, that arm, dude. Ooh. Yeah. And that's how I know I'm losing weight, because I just worked out. That's usually like a fat blob after I worked out. Like, that's the most defined it's ever been. That tricep is crazy. Look at that sticking out too. We didn't even isolate our triceps. We just did overhead press. Look at that thing popping out. Bam. So, very simple. First things first, we're going to cut up the bacon. And then we'll mince up the onion, the jalapenos, the garlic. They're not minced, we'll cut them up. We'll fill that in there. Let me take my glasses off so they don't get a bunch of oil splashed on them. Yeah, very simple. Alright, simple, nothing fancy. Kapowski. You probably wouldn't want to have it as high, but this oven sucks. It cooks really low, so you almost have to have it on high just to be for like medium high heat on most things. Now, just to be clear, I'm not doing this because I want to go to keto or anything. No, I'm 100% staying carnivore. I just, you know, want to eat this. And I actually think it'll be good for my body to have a little bit of carbs, you know, once a month or something like that. And again, I know this is unconventional, but I am telling y'all something very anabolic happens when you have a massive meal and then fast, a massive clean meal, and then do an extended fast, and then break it when your growth hormone is skyrocketed, hundreds if not thousands of % higher than normal, with a crazy intense workout. And during your fast, you're walking a lot and working out, even lightly. So, again, that's the beautiful thing about the channel, because we get to document it. And now that I'm not binging like crazy, because this is not a binge. You can think it is, but you're wrong. It's not a binge. You're going to get to see this method work out. Because for 2 years I didn't have the will or the strength to make it happen. And you can talk to shit all you want, but I know you motherfuckers can see the changes happening. Y'all know damn well that I'm changing, and you can see it. Like that, boom. And you can see the shit. That's fine, you know. Clown on it if you want in the comments. I get it, you know. Like I said, at the end of the day, you're all going to look goofy. You know, the shit talkers. But you'll be immortalized in the comment section. So have at it. Have fun. I don't care. It's all good. Now, unfortunately, I don't have my favorite spices. I would normally always put like coriander, cumin, cilantro, and stuff in that, but I wasn't going to buy spices just for one use and throw them away. So there won't be any cumin in this, but it'll still be really good. Now I'm going to take some salt. Kapowski. Oh my God, Crush, that's so much salt. Not when you're carnivore, baby. Pepper. And the reason why I added my basic spices back, garlic, onion, cayenne, because Dr. Berry does it. And again, I'm not doing this because for autoimmune. That's when you want to cut everything out when you're doing it for autoimmune or health reasons. I'm doing it, the carnivore, for fat loss and blood sugar stuff. So this stuff doesn't bother me. If it bothered me, obviously I wouldn't use it. I'm going to use the last of my garlic powder, or at least this one. I got another thing. And yes, I'm adding garlic, but I like the different flavors because this is a slightly different flavor than fresh garlic. And I love garlic. Alright, I'll be back because it's going to take about another 5 or 10 minutes to cook because I want that bacon get a little crispy and the onions to caramelize, and then we'll add the steak. I almost forgot one thing. Mushrooms, baby. Which 8 grams of carbs worth of mushrooms. You can't forget that butter power, baby. Boop. crushed. There's bacon in there. You don't need butter. That bacon's actually really lean. So I want a little more fat to cook everything. Oh, that butter's so good. Butter power's real. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and add the steak. We got mountain the steak. You know, there's another reason I'm doing this. Because I know this seems like a lot, and it is. And this is dense as shit. And I don't have to calculate this. I would say this is about 4,000 calories in here right now. I used to eat shit like this all the time. But with literally like this much rice. If this thing was full of rice, that's how much I would eat in a day. I would eat like half of it. And then like 6 hours later, I'd have the other half. And then I would have like literally almost like a stick of butter and like a third of a thing of soy sauce with it. And I use that example a lot because I used to eat that. I loved rice. Rice is probably my favorite thing in the world with butter and soy sauce. Yeah. So now we're going to salt the steak. We're going to spice it again now that we've added the steak. Howski. Oh, the comments are going to be fucking priceless, bro. I actually am excited for it. What do you think, Doc? What's this? How's this? Let me know, Doc, what you think. Here's a little onion powder. Again, I've always added fresh onion and the powders. The fresh onion and garlic and the powders. I've always done that. Especially in like sauces, like spaghetti and stuff. Adding it's two different flavors, and to me, it's essential. That's good. That's all we're gonna use. The rest is gonna go in the dish. There's the garlic we'll be using. We're not gonna put it in yet. Little red pepper. Garlic. I'm not even gonna lie, I actually really miss sour cream. And it's something I've thought about adding, but it's just extra calories. And it would be way too easy for me to put like 300 calories in this in my tuna, which actually wouldn't be the worst thing. Even just a couple tablespoons. But that's so good.
Y'all want to talk shit and try and troll me, bro? I'll troll y'all right back. This shit is priceless editing because I know y'all are going to be tweaking out, dude. That's so funny. It's like 100 calories, man, but y'all are going to be spazzing out.
Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this sit here and cook for a while. Because it's like creating like a stew. Because I want to cook that moisture out. And then so it's going to take probably about 20-30 minutes for this to finish cooking. And then everything blends together. And then we'll be ready. So we'll be back then. So I actually changed my mind. Here's what I'm going to do. So this is how it's looking. Kapowski. Well, I'm actually going to slow cook this. I turned it to medium. I'm going to put the lid on and I'm going to slow cook it for like an hour. Because it's like a stew. And I cook instinctively, so how do I let a good stew go to waste? Yeah. Maybe I'll just have a stew with like some chicken. Maybe I just have this stew and I'll make like cheese quesadillas out of the low carb tortillas instead of burritos. We'll see. I'll be back. All right, bro. So we gotta improvise. So this is what we're doing. Ow! Hot, 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 hot. We threw some cheese in here. This is like a stew. And we're gonna eat it like that. We're gonna make like a chowder almost. So we change it up. This is a great example. For all the bros that wanted cooking, this is a great example of how I would cook. I didn't plan this. Obviously, I was making tacos, but then I was making, like, damn, this stew sounds really good. Look at that shoulder. Like, you can't tell me that. I mean, that looks way leaner than it did. I don't even have to flex. You can just see my full shoulder. This thing. And that's because this isn't even the good lighting. So anyways, so we don't have milk. We didn't have that much cheese left because I did something else. I'll show you that in a second. What we're going to do to this, we're going to add sour cream to it. And that's going to make it like a chowder. And there's only 700 calories in this whole thing.
Hey, let's take a poll in the comments. How many times you think Logan and Dan and all of them have gotten triggered? Oh my god, it's so funny. Oh, I just every time. Oh, fuck, I love the Crush Bros.
So, oh yeah, look at that. Because to make a good chowder, you use like cheese and cream, but obviously we don't have heavy cream, and so we're just using sour cream. Which is kind of how you make stroganoff. Stroganoff is sour cream. Oh, this is this is instinctive cooking. Look at that, Papowski. Ooh, don't tell me that don't look good. Look at that, Papow. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why it was so easy for me to be over 500 pounds. Because I'd make something like this, and then I'd have literally like 2 boxes of fettuccine. I would cook. 1 box wasn't enough. I wouldn't eat it all, but I would make 2 boxes at a time of pasta. Let me taste it. Oh my God. And this right here is pure carnivore. But that's why I cut dairy out, because I would be trying to do shit like this. So this is a special occasion. But this is technically carnivore. The only thing that's not technically carnivore, obviously, I consider onions, garlic, peppers. I don't care. You can say what you want. To me, that's like a cat eating grass. That's whatever. The only thing that's technically not carnivore is the tortillas, which is what we did. I don't have a second skillet because I threw it away a while back because it got a little scratched. So I had to improvise. So what I did, Papowski. I'm not going to eat all those. And then, there's no oil or anything on this. So what we're going to do this would be fine, but I mean, hey, we need that butter power. So I'm gonna take this, just rub it on there a little bit. Pow. Get that little bit of butter flavor, get some of that butter power on there. And this is how you can make fajitas or quesadillas if you don't have a skillet and just an oven. Pow. And unfortunately the camera was off when I was making these, so that's my bad, but it's just tortillas with cheese wrapped in. I put 2 slices of cheese in each one, wrapped it up. It's nothing special. Boom. So y'all can on top, y'all can chirp all you want, but I'll get my day in the sun when I'm on the way in. So talk all your shit. My way in will be all the shit I have to talk. Howski. That's just it. That was at 325. I turned it up to 350, and then yeah. And this, my friends, is absolute perfection. Like, and this is instinctive cooking. You can follow this and try it yourself. Some potatoes in this. Oh my God, dude, if you reading carbs. Thank you, Jesus, for making me such a damn good cook. Oh, that sirloin steak is starting to break down like a roast. And that's it. Just waiting on this. And then, yeah. There you go. And this is perfectly carnivore. Now, obviously, I wouldn't be eating all this on a normal, like, if I was on a maintenance thing. You know what? That's how we're going to eat it. I was going to have some with salsa and sour cream, but I'm not now. That's too good. It doesn't need anything else. So toss the sour cream. Lebowski, there's my pre-fast meal. I haven't added up all the calories, but it's close to 5,000. Just wait till the weigh-in day. Wait till the weigh-in day. Remember the last one, y'all were chirping, and then what happened? Lost 9 pounds of fat. So, chirp if you want, but I get to chirp on weigh-in day. Whew, well, there we go, bros. So, that's what we got left. Man, I'm just telling you, this was so good, though. I'm so happy I did this. We're going to toss it. That's about a quarter of it. And then there were 6 of these total, but I am satiated and full. But oh, it was so good. And this is where carnivore has helped. I would have kept eating this while ketovore. And especially, you know, like if I had made this with rice, like I'm saying, there was no leftovers. You know, I would eat a whole bowl this size of rice, and then like at least half of this, and then a little while later I have another big bowl like this of rice, and the rest of this. But we're gonna toss it, even though it's so good.
because this was a special occasion. This isn't, we're not eating dairy or anything, so we're not going to keep it around for leftovers. And I don't know how much, so I'd say that's about 4,000 calories. Somewhere between 3,000 and 4,000 calories. About a pound. I ate probably about 1 3/4 of sirloin steak, and then about 350, 400 calories worth of sour cream. About 1,200 calories probably worth of cheese. About 1,000 calories worth of cheese. And about 400 calories worth of butter. 800 calories worth of beer. About 600 calories worth of bacon. Because I didn't eat, I ate about 2/3 to 3/4 of everything that I made. But I'm not worried about it. I'm very satiated. And yeah, so now I'm going to have some yogurt here in a little bit. And let's see how this is. This is not a binge. If this was a binge, I wouldn't have thrown any of that away. I would have just kept stuff in my face. But one of the reasons also I did this, because y'all keep talking shit, saying that I'm sneaking food and all that. I am not ashamed of nothing. Like, I have no problem telling y'all. If I was eating something, I'd show y'all. That's why I just showed all this. I'm not ashamed of any of this. You know, if I was sitting there eating cheeseburgers or Chinese buffet, I would tell y'all just like I always have before. So, think what you want, but I just wanted to make that very clear. Oh yeah, these blueberries are starting to break down nicely. Just have a taste of them real quick, see. Perfect sweetness. So we're gonna throw this in the fridge, and then, I don't know, whenever I feel like it, I'll have that yogurt and these blueberries. So this is right at 5:30, so we're gonna count the actual food fast of the part. We're gonna count the actual food part of the fast starting right at 6 o'clock. The water, I don't know. I'll update this whenever I drink my last bit of water. I think I'm gonna have this, wait a little bit, then I'm gonna pound some water, and that might be it. Because that would be nice. Because if I did that, say starting around 7 or 8, then tomorrow I dry fast all night, all day, go to sleep, and then wake up, and then 8 o'clock tomorrow. 8 o'clock Saturday morning would be 36 hours. But I don't know. We'll just go by ear. And, dude, that's crazy how, just, look at that, my shoulder. It's dope. Look at that. One-time thing. That's good. I do love yogurt. And this is Chobani, this is live cultures, everything. Alright. Now I'm actually looking forward to this. There it is. So there's that. Yeah, buddy. There's a pre-fast meal. Look at the muscles rip one, dude. That's just, that's crazy. Look at that. Boom. Boom. You can't deny that. Say what you want. But that's getting leaner all the time. Look at that.